welcome to our KESA podcast. I'm Jasmini and this is Mr. Fitri. This is Mr. Sankaran. So today our podcast we'll be exploring their journeys as teacher trainees, teachers and new lecturers here. So let's jump right in. Alright, to start off, could you each briefly introduce yourselves?
All right, thank you, Miss Jess. Thank you, Mr. Fitri. All right, okay, so let's start off. My name is Shankaran, son of Jagan Mohan. I'm actually a new lecturer currently serving in IPG campus Sultan Abdul Halim in language department. So prior to this, I've been working as a primary school teacher for about 10 years. So my first school, actually I got posted to a Chinese national school in Pangkor Island. So I was teaching there for about 6 years. And after that, I managed to get my transfer back to my hometown. And then this school is my second school. So I joined into my second school, is a SK school. So I was there for about 3 and a few months roughly. And then after that, I applied to become a lecturer and I have finally got it. So just as my education background, maybe I can share some of it. I actually did my bachelor's degree in IPG campus, Tengku Empuan Afzan. So you can see over here that I am a proud IPG product.
Yes.
All right.
You are.
So actually I have studied there from 2010 until 2015. So after that, I have actually continued my master's degree in University Pendidikan Sultan Idris, Tanjung Malim. And after that, here am I. Thank you.
That's interesting. So how about you, Mr. Fitri?
Alright, thank you, Ms. Jazz, Mr. Sankaran.
All right.
My name is Muhammad Fitri bin Ahmad. I've been in the service for about 11 to 12 years now. I started off my teaching journey in a rural primary school in Pahang, and I was there for 5 years. A very interesting journey where the challenges was to teach in a rural school, Orang Asli school, but it was a very small school, under enrollment school, around 50 students only. So I was there for about 5 years before I actually applied for a scholarship from a UK organisation, and I got my scholarship to do my masters in the University of Warwick, UK. So I was there for a year, and I came back. I was then posted to Institute Latihan Perindustrian Jitra as a cadre Bahasa Inggeris for 2 years, and I applied again for another scholarship, Hadiah Latihan Persekutuan. I got my scholarship to do my PhD at the University of Warwick again. So I got to go back to UK again for 3.5 years. I'm completing my PhD in perhaps 6 months, hopefully. But I'm back here at IPSA now in Jabatan Bahasa. So that's a little bit about my experience and about me. Okay.
That's great. Thank you for sharing all about you. Now let's rewind a little.
Okay.
Can you share with us your memories as a teacher trainee? Maybe you could share a memorable moment, maybe in your IPG last time.
All right. So actually, of course, as a student back then, for sure we would have so many memories, right?
Yes.
Maybe a few that I could share is maybe during my practicum, my first practicum session, because way before that, we had 1 month practicum, 2 months and 3 months, right? So actually during my first month of practicum, as usual, we were just got into the school and we are supposed to teach the students over there. All this while we have done all the readings, we have been taught with all these theories, all the skills on how to teach all these things. But then now, once we are in the environment, in that school context, we have actually need to apply all these theories, all the things that we have actually learned, right? So I have actually faced some problems to doing that, but then I have managed to deliver my best by giving, like, I could say, a big breakthrough to my students, because I managed to transform, not to say transform lah, I managed to make my cheeky students, those who are not interested in the studies, to become more engaging. Before this they were shy, they were quiet, and then I have actually experienced all these things, and I can proudly say that all these experiences, all these memories with my primary school students back then when I was teacher trainee, and even with my friends also, with my
Your classmates.
classmates, all these things has actually shaped who am I today. How?
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a meaningful content. How about you, Mr. Fitri?
Well, I think Mr. Sangkaran has given such an inspiring example of the experience of what to beat. Well, fun fact, I came from this very IPG. So I was a product of IPG Kampus Sultan Abdul Halim, the ActiSol program, and it is also a twinning program. So I was here for about 3.5 years, and 2 years of my degree were carried out in New Zealand. But I'm not going into examples of like what we learn here and what we apply in the classroom, because Mr. Sangkaran has put it in a very good way. But I'm just going to share about my memories with the lecturers here. Okay. I think it was a very interesting, it was a very great memory, with all the lecturers here. They were very supportive. When I first came here, I felt like very at home. Okay, I had a very good mentor, Madam Kathleen. And I think that she nurtured us, to become a very good teacher. And of course, being students, we had issues here and there. There are ups and downs, but I think the lecturers are always accommodating, and that's what makes me want to become a lecturer, because the lecturers as a whole team led a very good example, and I look up to all these lecturers, and I feel that one day I want to become like them. And yeah, today I'm like alhamdulillah in the team, so I'm very proud to come back. Yes.
That's inspiring, actually. Is that all? Do you want
I think that's all.
Okay, so probably we should move on to your real teaching experience. That because Mr. Sangkaran just shared about being a teacher trainee, but how was your teaching experience like? And with time, how do you think you have grown as an educator?
All right, thank you, Miss Jess. So over here, I could say that my teaching experience, right? Okay, so before this, as you know, when we were in trainee teachers, or we were in teachers back then also, we faced many mixed ability students in a single classroom, because nowadays we can't stream the students. So we have to cater to all these kind of students. We have to prepare the worksheets using differentiation strategies and so on, just to make sure that they are actually engaged in our lesson. That is the most important part. And sometimes the lesson plan that we plan also, it won't go as how we have actually planned. So as a teacher, or you could say trainee teachers, we have to have a backup plan. We cannot just get demotivated, or we get stressed. Oh my God, now what do I need to do now? You need to have something as a plan to cater that problem, and then you need to overcome it. Maybe as an educator, the growth that I've seen now, maybe I can say that I can learn to adapt all these things as an educator and be flexible during my teaching and learning process over that time. Because before this, when I was teacher trainee, I get stressed out, because of course the lecturers will be sitting behind and they will be observing us, because it is related with our marks, right? And then but then once we have been posted to the school, we have the autonomy with us, so we can take our time to really reflect. Okay, what was the mistake? how can I go about it, and all these things. So these are the things that I have actually grown lah. All these things, and then maybe during the lesson also, before this I faced like classroom management. I had problems with classroom management. So what I did, more into teacher centered. I say you do, I say you do. But then after that, I have learned that there's a better way to do that. Okay, then we follow student centered all this while, like what our lecturers back then were emphasizing us, like all these things. So I think these are the things that I have actually learned and grown in my teaching career.
That's great.
Okay.
That's a lot. Yeah. And congratulations, you have made it.
Thank you, Jess.
Okay, Mr. Fitri, how about you?
All right. If I can still get the question correct, because wow. Looking back at my experience teaching in a rural primary school, as I said, I would say at the beginning it was quite tough. Okay, although we had 5 years of training in IPG, but I think I was not actually really exposed to teaching kids from
Aboriginals.
origin.
True.
So there was like some phases where I need to adapt, with the culture, with the language, but I think with the reflection skills that were taught, and then support, even after the graduation, even after the degree, we still have support from the lecturers because we keep in touch with them, right? So getting some advice, some also feedback from the school. I mean, like from the headmasters, from our cooperating teachers. So it did help me to survive my very first year. Because I would say the first year was quite challenging. Even though I only had like 5 to 10 students in the classroom, it wasn't that easy. Because they were like very low proficiency kids, and also I'm teaching English. So motivation was like a very real factor for them to learn English, which is so foreign to them. But of course, we do a lot of activities, and these were taught, in our training, and I tried to apply all of that. Yeah, I think that's what I get. What else do you want to ask me?
How you have, what is the growth you see in you, like within, since then?
Okay.
Because you have not only been in school,
Okay.
right? So
Oh,
probably
yeah.
you have grown more, like maybe in different aspects. Perhaps you could share that.
Well, when I was in schools, I tried to do something else other than just teaching. So I volunteered to do a lot of coaching as well. So I was involved in Pro ELT training for preschool teachers.
Very good.
Okay, so it was a win-win situation. I get to practice my coaching skill as well, and then I was also involved as the JUK, what's that, master trainer? Yes, at the national level for the CEFR induction. Okay, and I get to use all this knowledge back in my school as well. So I was looking for opportunities to learn more and contribute back to my school, and also making rapport with teachers, making networking with important people to get more support to actually put it back into my practice at school. Because being in a rural school, you have to grab all the chance to go out of the schools and meet people and learn about stuff, attend courses, and from this experience, I think it shaped a better me. Okay, and I used those experience to apply for a scholarship overseas. And then
You earned it.
Thank you.
Made a lot of friends, yeah.
Thank you.
Maybe to top it off, what Mr. Fitri has said, the growth that I have faced also like sideways lah.
Oh, okay, we see that now.
Not only in our teaching and learning during the class and my growth as an educator back then. Sideways also plays a role. Alright, sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
He was saying about
And then
courses,
and then I pursued my studies in the UK, my masters, and coming back from the UK, I think that I want to do more, and I tried to go into teaching, post SPM students, right? So I was
Okay.
teaching technical students at ILP.
Alright.
So, and then from there I learned to become, andragogy, to become a lecturer, teaching adults.
So you know pedagogy and now andragogy, like you
Yes.
are exposed to.
Yes, to both sides
Yes,
of the
both.
teaching, right? And I kind of like teaching adults as well. So it's a different experience from teaching young
Yeah.
kids, but I think my core business is still something related to school. So after my PhD, I think that I want to go back to this school-related curriculum. That's why I choose to come back to IPG. Yeah.
Thank you. Now, this question is mainly for Mr. Sankaran because I think Mr. Fitri has answered in other ways. So now, Mr. Sankaran, now that you have transitioned from a school teacher to an IPG lecturer,
Alright.
why did you make this shift? Because he has mentioned
Yeah.
you haven't. So this is only for you now.
Alright, so basically Ms. Jess and Mr. Fitri, you know that I've been teaching as a teacher in a primary school for about roughly 10 years, and then I think maybe I have to experience a different environment because I've already experienced the primary school context for about 10 years.
A
So-
decade.
A decade, almost a
Yes.
decade,
Yes.
9 years and a few months here and there. So I thought, okay, why not? Let's give a try. Okay, try something else. Plus, I have my master's degree also. Why not try to apply to become a lecturer? And it was actually a dream of mine. Once I had my SPM result, that was my goal lah. Okay, I have set this goal that I wanted to work in this IPG.
This very IPG.
This very IPG
Okay.
This
because
particular IPG.
really
Wow.
this particular IPG, it was my goal back then that I wanted to become a lecturer here.
Because you live so close, right?
Yeah, because my house is just here, maybe 10 minutes drive. So, and then after that, I also I want to, my desire is to give a bigger impact. Before this, the impact that I've given is only to the primary school students. But then now I want to expose myself to give a bigger impact to the educators, the teacher trainers, the pre-service teachers, so I can actually use the experiences that I have gained in my teaching during my school days, all those days, so I can use all the real examples together with the theories that I have, that the pre-service teachers are actually learning, so I can integrate both and I can actually share my experiences. These are the things that you will face, the consequences, all these things that you will face when you are in your school, so I can actually share my experiences with them. After that, I think that's it.
Yeah. That's a lot again.
It's very well
Thank you
put.
for coming
Yeah.
forward.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining the team.
Yeah,
Always.
it's fun to have both of you actually. Now finally,
Okay.
we have come to the final part.
All right.
As lecturers who are going to guide future teachers now,
Okay.
what are your hopes and aspirations for our future educators?
That's a very
Who
big
wants to go
question.
first?
Wow.
Maybe Mr. Fitri can start first, then I'll join
Before we putting hopes on them, let us put hopes on ourselves because we're very new.
Very true.
Okay, so I hope that I can do my very best to learn from the experienced lecturers here on how to guide these new students. I mean, like future teachers. And I think that's a lot for us to learn as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Indeed, yes.
Indeed, but to impart the experiences that we have gained all these years, in the teaching career to our students, I hope that when they become a teacher, they are teachers who are ready to face the world. They won't be perfect, but I want them to be at least ready and proud of who they are. Proud of being a teacher. So if the 5 years training not make you a proud teacher, then there's something wrong there. And if it can't make you someone who is ready to face the the teaching world, then there's something wrong there. So I think if we can cater those two, to these future teachers, then that's an okay job, because they will have to learn a lot more in the real world,
Very
and
true.
there will be other teachers at school who will be guiding them,
Yes.
or they can always come back to us as well anytime. We are happy to help. Yeah.
We'll be here.
Sure.
We'll be right here. Hopefully, yes.
As a team, I think we'll do a good job in doing that. I'm sure of that.
Yes.
Alright, so on my part, maybe I think we need to make sure that our trainee teachers, our pre-service teachers actually believe in students' abilities and never give up on them. That's the most important part, because I'm talking this based on my experience, because there are a few mischievous students, like very passive, shy students that sometimes I feel like something like that lah. I don't want to tell it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then it shouldn't be like that. We have to really do something. They are also our future generations. We have to cater, we have to really nurture them, guide them, and then bring their potential out. So I really need to impart to these pre-service teachers that you have to always believe in your students and never give up on them. Alright, maybe.
Commitment.
They have to understand that they play a huge role actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? If they give up, then who else will help these
Very
students?
true.
Yeah.
That is actually what my lecturer told me when I shared this, because I did face a few students here and there
Okay.
with this kind of problems. This is the exact word my lecturers used to tell me. If you didn't teach them, they are not
Who else
using
will,
the
right?
second language anywhere. So who will teach them?
Yes.
So anyhow, we plays a vital role in that. Maybe a second point to tell our trainee teachers is you need to lead the students with empathy. You need to understand them.
Yes.
That's crucial actually.
You need to understand, not just imparting knowledge. Yes, imparting knowledge to them is very important. Apart from that, you need to try to stand on their shoes. You need to be empathy enough, try to understand why are they behaving like that. So if you can do that, I'm sure the teachers will be a very successful one. The students will really adore them.
Okay. I'm learning from Sun as well. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you
That's a very good
mentioned
point,
some- Yes, crucial points about empathy, about being fully committed, all in, all in
Yes.
the game,
Yeah.
not like only until 1:30 or
Take
2.
notes, take
True.
notes.
Thank you so much. So, thank you so much again, thanks again to Mr. Fitri and Mrs. Sankaran for sharing your stories and insights with us. Yeah, it's inspiring to hear about your journeys, your experiences, your knowledge, and now you're going to forward those, the passion to our
Yes.
students. And to all of our listeners, thank you for tuning in. Stay inspired, stay curious, and bye from us now.
Right. Okay, bye. See you soon. Take care. Alright.